it's unboxing time, and in today's unboxing we have a very large box. This is the fourth unboxing where it's been a box of this magnitude. We've done one where I unboxed all of my terminal buildings, then we did one where I got a few of my 1-200 747s, which are actually just there. And then we did one about a month ago, which was unboxing a piece of a real British Airways 747. This one is going to be different than all of those because primarily in this box are just a lot of 1 to 400 models. And one disclaimer I do indeed have is you've probably actually seen two of these models already. They are 1 to 200 models, and I prefer to do kind of like a separate in-depth review on my 1 to 200 models. The 1 to 400 models that are in this box, I don't know exactly how many. I know I've got probably like 40 on order. I'm not sure how many of them are in this box at the moment. This is of course from AMS, big shout out to them. I use them all the time and they're just a great company. So without further ado, I guess we're just going to go ahead and open this giant box. Now, similar to my 1 to 200 British Airways 747 unboxings, I'm going to open the box and bring out all of the models in this kind of view, and then I'm going to go into almost like a first person / POV view, similar to all of my mainstream unboxings, and then I'm going to review and compare all of the models that are in this box in that view. But with my mighty IKEA scissors, I can now slice open the box and reveal the models we have inside. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting somewhere. And just by taking a look in the top of this box, you can already tell this is going to be an absolutely amazing unboxing. Okay, so starting off here, we've got the brand new, two of the brand new Gemini Jets, 1 to 400 scale, United 777-200s. Of course, these are very needed for my Washington Dulles model airports. These, I believe, are the non-ER versions of the Boeing 777-200. These are the older ones. United are probably one of the only airlines in the world that are just keeping their really old 777-200s. These, I believe, primarily fly the domestic routes within the US, so I know they do fly these to places like Los Angeles, San Francisco, various other places like that, and then I can of course use them on international routes when I need them. Over the coronavirus period, they haven't really been using 777s on international routes at Washington Dulles. They've been primarily using the 787 over the 777, but before all of this pandemic type stuff happened, it was probably the most used wide-body aircraft at Washington Dulles. So I'm glad I finally have these in my collection. I don't know if Gemini Jets will release an ER version. I would hope so, just so I can up my numbers a little bit more over than 2. But again, I guess we'll just have to see. Again, I'll go into detail on these in a minute, but I'm going to put these off to the side now. I'm going to get out the other models we have in this unboxing. Okay, so next up we have the Gemini Max Luftwaffe A350-900. This is the brand new kind of corporate jet that the Luftwaffe are using. This is basically the German Air Force One, and it's on an A350, which is really cool. Probably one of the most up-to-date kind of presidential aircraft you can find in the skies. And of course the Gemini Jets mold on the A350 is actually pretty good, so I'm pretty excited about this model. We then have, now this one is going to be very interesting, we have the Gemini Max US Navy P8 Poseidon. I'm very curious about this one. I'm deliberately not going to look inside this flap just yet because this model feels like one of the ones that could come broken. Of course, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. The reason why I got this is because I wanted to give Gemini Jets a chance on this mold. I have also ordered the Royal Air Force P8 Poseidon from Gemini Max as well. That should be coming next month. So if this one is okay, I'm going to keep my order of the Royal Air Force One. If not, I'm probably going to cancel my Royal Air Force One and then go to Panda Models, which is another company which does make the P8 Poseidon. Then next up, we have the only NG model of this unboxing. We have the Southwest Airlines 737-800 in the Canyon Blue livery. This is without the scimitars, so this is just the regular winglets. on board this aircraft. A few of these are left flying around. I was debating maybe not going for this just because of course I want to try and get more of the regular Hearts liveries over the Canyon Blue and special liveries that Southwest have. But I decided to go for this in the end because with Southwest on my Baltimore update, pretty much more the merrier basically when it comes to Southwest aircraft, so I did decide to get one of these. But I am really hoping a company does release a Heart livery, either 700 or 800 again. I would love for a re-release of the 800 from NG Models. I'm probably going to buy a few more of them because I currently have 2 of them, which is not enough for a Baltimore update, and then the 700 of course from Gemini or whoever. Now these models are the ones we are going to be reviewing in full in this unboxing, but we do also have some others that I've made some separate in-depth videos about. So first off we have the Gemini 200 Royal Air Force Voyager. This is of course in the brand new Vespina livery, which I'm very excited about. Again, I will link the video where I went into a review on this model at the end of this video or in the description below, so if you want to see that you can go check that one out. And the other one which I'm very excited for is, and probably the reason this box is so big I may add, we have the Gemini 200 British Airways A380. This thing is huge. So I don't have a huge amount of Gemini 200 aircraft, but I do actually have the 747s you can see over there, and I kind of thought in my head, just like the 1-400 ones, maybe they have kind of a sized box for the wide body aircraft and a sized box for the narrow body aircraft. That's not true. This box is ginormous. This is far bigger than the Vespina box. This is the Vespina box, by the way. You can see how the size difference in between these two boxes. And then the 747 boxes, they're smaller than this one as well. So this is absolutely huge, and that's probably the reason why this box is so big. It takes up like half the box. But with that being said, I'll link the videos where I went into review on these models at the end of this video and in the description. But for the rest of this video, we are going to be going into detail on these 1-400 models right here. Okay, so I think we are going to go into detail on these two models first. We're probably going to go in the order that we unbox them in. So we're going to be starting with the Gemini Jets United 777-200s. Now these models are going to be in the new 777 mold, which I'm not a huge fan of. They did also release the American 777-200 around the same time as they did these. Now I didn't go for the American 777 because I have no need for it, but if you are interested in the American one, apart from the livery design, the mold of which is going to be the same as these. So if you're interested in getting the American one and you want to know what the mold looks like, it's going to be exactly the same as this. So we're going to go ahead now and open this box to reveal the model. Okay, we have the first one open now. I am going to be unboxing both of them just to check that they're both in okay condition. Usually the 777s come alright, so I'm not too worried about that, but here we have the model. Taking off the plastic off the top there, we can reveal the actual aircraft. Okay, now straight off the bat, it's honestly not a bad model. These molds, I do have a little bit of nitpicking with them, but honestly they're not that bad. I don't know if you can see this, but the engine does appear to kind of like tilt upwards a little bit. I don't know if you can see that there, but the engine has definitely got an upwards tilt to it, which the other engine doesn't appear to have. So I think this may just be a defect on this particular model, but we'll open the other one and have a look. So putting this one off to the side, we can bring in the second one, unbox this one, and then have a look to see if it's also on the other one. Okay, and taking the model out of the box now. This one also has the exact same problem. This is something I haven't seen on the previous molds of the 777, and it is a very minor detail. You can't really make out too much that's tilting, but it is just a bit offsetting. And the fact that it's actually on both of these models as well, that proves that it's not really a dud, or I may have just got 2 of the duds, which is very unfortunate if I have. I do want to hear from you guys actually about this. If you do have either the American 777 or the United 777, does the engine appear tilted with your models? This is just such a weird kind of situation. I'm not really sure what to make of it. Yeah, it's really odd. I'm going to try and ignore that for now. I'm going to go into detail on the model. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind if you are thinking of buying this. The engines do appear to be tilted upwards. That's a really odd kind of thing to come across. By going into detail on this model now, you can see starting off here we have the 777 nose piece here with the cockpit windows there, the Star Alliance logo there with the L1 door here, the L2 door, the forward landing gear, which is, you know, I do have my beef with this. It's a little bit too long, but at the end of the day, it's honestly not too bad. Hence the reason I bought this model. Then we have the United titles up here, of course, the much larger United titles on the brand new livery here. Then we've got the grey underbelly. I'm a massive fan of this new United livery. It looks quite clean, it looks quite nice. I just really like it. And then we've got the blue stripe following the grey underbelly down there. It does have a bit of a curve to it. Then we come to the middle section, of course, we've got the engines here. The colouring does appear to be a little bit off, but honestly, I don't mind colour issues that much unless it's drastic. So it's not too bad. The main thing I'm worried about or have a problem with is the engines and how they're tilted upwards. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know whether my eyes are just tripping me or whatever, but I think they are tilted up, but it's kind of at a degree where it's just unsettling. It's like you can't really definitely say they're pointing up, but it's kind of at a point where you notice it. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know, it's an odd kind of situation that we got here. Moving over to the underbelly of the aircraft, of course, we've got the classic Gemini Jets titles there in the middle with the stand hole and the main landing gear as well. Nothing really that's incorrect with that. We've got the rear door here with the grey underbelly that does slope up towards the APU at the back here. Then we've got the amazing United tail, and that does pretty much conclude this United 777-200. It's a very odd phenomenon, this kind of engine tilting kind of situation. I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I don't want to bash Gemini Jets for it. I do want to hear back from you guys if you do have this model, if you do have this problem with your aircraft. Because it's kind of like when you look at the model from a distance, it doesn't look bad, but then when you go close, I honestly don't know what to make. I'll probably follow that up in some future video, but for now I'm going to put them off to the side and we're going to move to our next model. I think for now we're going to stick with our passenger or civilian theme, and we're going to go with the Southwest 737, and then we're going to move on to the military aircraft. But here, of course, we do have the NG model Southwest 737-800 without the scimitars. I do, of course, have the Southwest 737 with the scimitars, so it's exactly this, just with the scimitars. They do have different registrations, but apart from the registrations and the scimitars, they are pretty much the same model. Of course, as you can see, the NG models boxes do go into a lot better design. We've got this kind of Southwest themed design here with Boeing 737-800 at the top there, Southwest, the registration, then NG models and some legal information down the bottom. On the back here, we do have some more in-depth legal information, and then on the sides here, we've got Southwest 737-800, and then the clip art of the aircraft with 737-800 and NG models as well. Without further ado, I guess we're going to go ahead and unbox this model. It's a very small box, as the NG narrow bodies are, but we have the model inside here. Now, straight off the bat, this is an absolutely amazing aircraft. I love the NG 737 mold. It's absolutely great. There are some minor details that could need fixing, but honestly, for what we've got, it's just absolutely amazing. Starting off at the front of the aircraft now, we've got the cockpit windows, of course, with the L1 door here, with the forward landing gear here as well, and then we've got of course, the classic canyon blue livery, of course. Now, there is some argument to be said that NG do make their models quite dark. It's quite clear to see in this shot here that you can see that the blue on the model is a lot darker than the Gemini Jets versions from their 737-700s. In fact, just bring in one of the Gemini Jets 737-700s. You can see this is the Gemini Jets one on the left, this is the NG one on the right. You can see there is a definite color difference. This one almost looks purple on the screen. It doesn't look that purple in real life. I think that's just the lighting. Now, I don't have a lot of experience when looking at Southwest aircraft in real life. I do, of course, live in the UK, so I haven't spent a tremendous amount of time around Southwest aircraft. I've never actually been on Southwest. I have seen them before, but not to the depth where I could tell you which one is more realistic. It is also worth noting that this model here is quite an old model, so of course some sun fading has probably come into effect as one why this model is like this color. But ultimately, whether you think either one is correct, the NG1 does look very, very good. And then moving finally towards the rear of the aircraft here, we've got the emergency exits over the wings. Then if we kind of tilt the aircraft upwards, you can see the emergency arrows on the wings. We have the engines there, which look very, very nice, not tilted at all, unlike the Gemini Jets 777. And then we've got the winglet here, if it will focus. I believe that just says southwest.com on there. And then taking a look at the underbelly of the aircraft here, we've got the landing gear with the gear holes in the middle there. No stand hole, of course. This is an NG model, and as well NG don't put their logo on their aircraft, which is kind of a nice touch. It does add for realism, I guess, but ultimately I'm not going to blame Gemini Jets for putting their logo on their aircraft. It's kind of their right to do that. And then finally at the rear of the aircraft here, we've got the registration, which reads November 8650 Foxtrot, I believe that is. I can't really see it, so I do apologize if I got that wrong. We've got the American flag there with the rear door underneath it, and then we've got the Southwest titles on the tail here. But yeah, that does conclude that model, and it's a very, very nice one. I can't wait to get it onto some updates of Baltimore Thurgood and other updates as well. And then finally here, moving on to the two military aircraft of this unboxing. I think I'm going to start with the A350 just because this one, I'm interested with this one. I've got a lot of things to say about that one, so I'm going to save that one to the end, and I'm going to start with this Deutschland A350. The box, of course, is the classic Gemini Max box. It's basically the same as the regular Gemini Jets box, except instead of the blue, we've just got the metal kind of pattern here. Ironically, the only other Gemini Jets A350 I do have is a Lufthansa A350. So the two A350s I have from Gemini Jets are both German, which is funny. Okay, here we have the model. I'm going to take the plastic off now and we can reveal the model inside the box. Okay, and everything appears to be perfect. Here's the model. Now, I do actually believe that Gemini Jets do actually make one of the best A350 molds. I think the only company so far, at least, that could top Gemini Jets is Aviation 400. Their A350s are absolutely amazing. But then, of course, we've got the brand new NG models, A350s coming in soon. So I'm going to be very curious to kind of compare them. Okay, so taking a look at this model now. Now, this livery has been criticized in the past in that it looks a lot like a Euro white livery. Of course, if you take out the kind of like the German banner on the middle of the aircraft, it literally just is a Euro white livery. A Euro white livery, for those of you who don't know, is a livery that resembles too much white and is kind of regarded as boring. I don't know what it is with Germans and Euro white liveries, but the new Lufthansa livery pretty much is just the definition of a Euro white livery. But taking a look at this mold now, starting off at the front here, we've got the A350 nose. Now, this is something that a lot of companies have gotten wrong, but in my opinion, Gemini Jets have actually done a pretty good job on the nose of the A350. And the other thing is the forward landing gear as well. That's got a pretty nice proportion, especially when comparing it to the Phoenix A350. The Phoenix A350 has a very, very long forward landing gear, and so I can commend Gemini Jets on the nose of the A350. It's done very, very well. Then of course here we've got the German banner. It pretty much resembles the German flag, the black, red and kind of yellow or orange. It's kind of stretching across the midsection of the aircraft there all the way to the rear of the aircraft. Then here we've got the Luftwaffe symbol with 10 and 03. I'm not sure what those numbers are referring to, but then here we have the L1 door here and the L2 door. We then have this German word here. I believe this is German for Republic, and then Deutschland, of course, is Germany. Moving to the middle of the aircraft now, again, it's pretty nice. There's no markings on the engines and not much more of any markings on the middle of the aircraft. Of course, it is a Euro white livery. But we do, of course, have the engines, which are nice and high off the ground, which is another thing Phoenix do very wrong. And then the only thing I have against the Gemini Jets mold is the landing gear. They just seem quite far apart. I know the A350 does have landing gear that is quite far apart like this, but I think it's just a little bit too far apart on the Gemini Jets version. And then on the underside, of course, we've got the stand hole and the Gemini Max logo towards the rear of the underbelly here, and then there I've got focused on the other winglet. We've got more of that German kind of banner on the winglet of the aircraft, and as well on the wings. I don't know if you can see that there, but we do also have the Luftwaffe logo on the wings. And then looking at the rear of the aircraft here, we've got the rear doors here with the Wi-Fi box on the top here. We've got a little kind of cargo door there, and then we've got Luftwaffe and the German flag. A very, very basic tail there, but I guess, you know, if it's a corporate jet pretty much for the military, that's all you really need. Overall, it's a very nice model, and yeah, I can't wait to have this in some UN Day updates of Washington Dulles when I eventually start doing that. And then finally, moving on to our last model, we have the Gemini MAX US Navy P8 Poseidon. Now this one is going to be very, very interesting. Of course, the box is very similar to the A350 that we just unboxed. It's just the narrow body version of that box with the clip art here, and then down here it says Boeing P8 Poseidon with the US Navy kind of logo down here. I'm going to open the flap on this one to see what it looks like in the box. This may be the moment of truth for this model. I don't know what it is with this model. There's just a lot of moving parts. We have had some issues with the 737 molds before, and of course the P8 is based on a 737, and as well all those antennas on the top. There's a lot of potential for this model to go wrong. I'm really rooting for Gemini Jets to do this model well, but we'll just have to see. So okay, that looks intact. Nothing seems to be broken. I'm going to open the box now and see if that still remains the case when I take it out of the plastic coverings here. Gemini Jets, this is your moment of truth. Okay, I'm taking the plastic piece off of the top here, and everything seems good. I don't want to jinx it just yet. Yes, okay. Okay, this has got me excited for my Royal Air Force one arriving now. Honestly, this looks great. I had some real speculations about this model that this wasn't going to turn out that great. As I said, there's just a lot of kind of fixed parts to this model. I could really see the wings coming unattached and all these antennas on the top coming off, but honestly, everything, I've kind of like test jiggled everything, and everything on this model seems pretty good. A little bit of background on this aircraft. This is the new kind of anti-submarine warfare aircraft. As the P8 Poseidon, as I said, a lot of countries have ordered these aircraft. Of course, America, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of countries are getting these aircraft. In the Royal Air Force, these are being used to replace the Nimrod that the UK used to operate as this kind of anti-submarine warfare aircraft. But as the sun starts to go down, I'm trying to kind of get this unboxing done. So starting off here, we've got the nose. Of course, these are based off of the 737-800s, I believe. We've got the little black tip on the nose there. We've got 338, which is probably the 332 rather, which is probably the number related to this aircraft. Then we've got the cockpit windows here, the L1 door here, and the various antennas and various little bits and stuff. I really like it when they do put a lot of like antennas on aircraft like this. It makes it look really, really detailed and really, really nice. We've got the forward landing gear here with the engines here, the emergency exits there with the I'll take a look at the underside of the aircraft as well, but we have the main landing gear with various antennas again, as I said, and then the Gemini MAX logo with the stand hole as well. And then looking at the rear of the aircraft here, we've got the US Navy kind of logo here with the tail, of course, with a little emblem here. I'm not sure where this is based, PD, I don't know where that is. And then looking at the wingtips of the aircraft, of course, we've got kind of newer wingtips. These aren't traditionally on. And then, of course, here we've got enhanced winglets. And then, of course, here on the military version of the 737-800, we have these winglets, which aren't seen on commercial 737-800s. They do look really nice. I really like the look of these. It would be cool if Southwest or some airline adopted these kind of wings, but I'm sure they're not actually practical for airlines. But with that being said, that does conclude this unboxing of these 5 1-400 aircraft. Again, if you want to see the unboxing / review of these 1-200 aircraft, I will leave that linked at the end of this video. All in all, a really, really nice unboxing. The only downside are those 777 engines. I just want to get some feedback on that, kind of see if any of you have that problem. I'm not going to send back these models over that. It's a very minor detail. I'm still going to use them, of course. It's just a very annoying little detail which, you know, I pick up on, but I'm not too mad about. Overall, Gemini Jets, very good job, and NG as well on this model, very good job, especially on the P8 as well. That is an absolutely amazing model. I'm very excited for my Royal Air Force one to come now, and the future P8s that I do collect as well. I'm very, very excited about that. But with that, that does conclude this unboxing of these 5 aircraft. I hope you'd enjoy. Let me know, did you get any of these? Did you have this 777 issue with the engines, or did your P8 Poseidon come broken? And apart from that, I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.